Today we're driving a 2018 Golf R 6-speed manual transmission. Of course, this car also comes in a 7-speed DSG automatic, but we haven't driven that one yet on the channel. Big thank you to First International Auto Group out of Merrimack, New Hampshire for lending me this car. Definitely check this one out, listed on their site for just under $27,000. Mileage is 83,000. Before we get this thing out on the road, let's give it a quick walk around. So this is, of course, a Mark 7.5 Golf R. They did an update in 2016 to these, basically calling it the 7.5 before they eventually moved on to the Mark 8. The Mark 7.5 is highly appreciated due to the fact that there's not just tons of screens in here. I mean, there is wired Apple CarPlay and digital gauge cluster, but this is before they kind of loaded this thing with haptic touch buttons. Side profile of these things is pretty good looking. We of course have these 19-inch fan-shaped rims, which I really like. And then we have some Golf R badging up front. In the rear, as you can see, we have these quad exhaust tips. I mean, this exhaust just sounds absolutely fantastic. This one's stock and really provides a nice engine note. And then back here, as you can see, we have tons of room in our hatchback. This is probably the favorite thing about these Golfs for people, is that you have these seats that fold down, you have a privacy cover, and of course you just have tons of room to fit stuff back here. So under the hood is a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, same as the Audi S3. This one makes 292 horsepower and 280 pound-feet of torque. Fun fact, the 7-speed dual clutch actually makes 15 more torque, just due to how things are geared. So sitting behind myself, I'm 5'9", and I have so much room back here. We have a 2017 Volkswagen Jetta in our family, and I'll say that there's a lot more room in these back seats than in that Jetta. We have HVAC vents, we don't have controls in here, we don't have rear heated seats or anything fancy like that, but we do have these nice leather seats that carry on to the back of the car. No sunroof in here either. As far as fuel economy goes, we have 21 city. It's rated for 29 miles per gallon highway. So pretty good for an economic daily driver. So you'll notice we do have these little things that go over the steering wheel. They're fake carbon fiber, but they're really just plastic. When I first got in the car, I was like, ugh, why are these there? But I actually kind of like how they feel. The one feedback I have for them is when you're gripping the wheel tight, when you're turning, this one seems to creak and crack a little. I personally would just take these off, but they are aftermarket, so don't consider this a review of the Golf R in terms of these little things on the steering wheel. So making our way out of the outlets, let's talk about this interior a little bit. So we do have mostly hard plastic on the top of the dash, and it does feel a lot like our Mark 6 Jetta. You'd expect for a high original MSRP that you'd have a little nicer materials, especially because they did also cheap out with the radio controls. They have all these being haptic touch buttons. We do have wired Apple CarPlay, which I can appreciate. But ours in our Mark 6 Jetta does cause us some problems. It just occasionally gets disconnected, and you'd expect that more with wireless systems than the wired Apple CarPlay. So this thing actually sounds fantastic. I really do like the blow-off valve. I'm not sure that is stock. I've never driven a Golf R before, so if it makes those sounds automatically, feel free to correct me in the comments. So at highway speeds, it is a little loud in here. This car definitely lacks sound deadening, but I don't care because it sounds fantastic. And even with having all-wheel drive up here in New England, you're still getting pretty good fuel economy too, especially on the highway rated at 29 miles per gallon. So as some of my close friends who watch this channel know, I don't drive a ton of manual transmission cars, so I'm not really great at giving good feedback on, what's a good manual transmission, what's a bad one yet. I'm slowly learning. I didn't grow up driving stick, and so I really started getting my exposure to manual transmission cars just about 2 years ago. I will say I really do like the Volkswagen shifters. This same one was in the GTI that we drove a few months ago, and I just feel like it has really nice inputs. They are kind of long throws, but I just like how it feels. And then the clutch, like, it's super easy to drive this thing, especially coming from a stop. I mean, I have had no problems. I haven't stalled it at all or anything like that, so it is a pretty nice car to drive. As far as these seats go, I will say they're fairly comfortable. They're really well side bolstered. I feel like this car will really hold you in if you're going around sharp curves. And then the plushness of the back part of the seat with the leather is really complimenting for long drives. I think you could drive this thing on a daily basis and it'd be very comfortable for you. You have tons of practicality with the hatch. And of course, you know, if you don't mind driving manual transmission in traffic, which I still don't know how I feel about that yet. I have yet to do a Boston commute in a manual transmission car, but I'm sure you'll have that feedback from me soon enough. So besides taking off these fake carbon fiber pieces on our steering wheel, the only thing I would really do to this car is maybe do like an ECU tune. I know APR and some other companies develop chips for these things that'll just add like 60 horsepower for $500. Ridiculous power value. Honestly, in my opinion, I feel like, you know, when I was looking to upgrade my Elantra N-Line, it was like you'd spend $2,000 and maybe get 15 horsepower. So it's really good to see a car with high value in terms of customizability and performance. So driving a Golf R for the first time, it's really opened my eyes to how nice these things are. I mean, they're great, versatile cars. I mean, having all-wheel drive, comfort, you have heated seats, blind spot monitoring, lots of safety options in here. So you really don't have to worry about, you know, missing out on some of the modern tech that keeps people safe while still having a sports car, right? So personally, I could really see myself getting one of these. As many of you know, I have been kind of looking for my next car ahead of giving up my Mach-E next November. And I feel like that's actually going to come a lot sooner because I'm putting tons of miles on it. And yes, going from an electric car to a manual transmission, sports hatchback like daily driver would be a very big change for me. But I think it would be welcome. So this thing really does make a lot of low-end power. 0 to 60 for the manual transmission one is quoted at 4.8 seconds. And I believe the automatic was about a half second quicker. So, I mean, I will say, like, you can get some good power out of these things, good acceleration. I mean, you might even be able to have like an 11-second quarter-mile time with a nice tune for this thing. So to conclude my thoughts on the 2018 Mark 7.5 Golf R, it's really opened my eyes to how great these things are. I now understand why so many people buy them, especially up here in New England when you get all-wheel drive, you get a manual transmission, or the 7-speed dual clutch, which I heard is good too. Lots of comfort options, lots of tech, wired Apple CarPlay, even for 2018. I mean, this thing is 7 years old now and it still has CarPlay, which is great. Good backup camera, great visibility, lots of safety tech, side airbags, you know, I mean, you just have everything you need. The last thing I wanted to talk about is the fact that the Golf GTI is still a great product with the manual transmission. And if you do a couple tunes to that thing, maybe get it a louder exhaust, as I said in my video, and that one was a 7.5 too, so a direct lower performance trim than this Golf R we have here today. I mean, that's a nice product too, so you really have to think about, oh, is the money worth it for this Golf R? In my opinion, yes. You know, this one priced at $27,000 at First International Auto Group with 83,000 miles on it. Seems like a very good deal. And I mean, these things last quite a while. I mean, these 2-liter turbo 4s have known to be quite reliable, and that's why you can throw lots of power at them. I would kind of worry about the manual transmission as you add more power. Maybe you got to upgrade the clutch too. But, you know, I don't know too much about that because I don't have any experience modifying these. So definitely let other people know if you do have experience with modding Golf Rs. Leave your comments below, leave your recommendations for people. Definitely join in on the Auto Joe community. So with that being said, thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.